Rob from Buckeyes Battle Cry here. It is rivalry week between two teams. Call it what you want. Big brother versus little brother. You have the team from Ann Arbor, Michigan, versus that team from East Lansing, Michigan State. I'm going to give my predictions at the end, but let's just get into stats. All right. Aiden Chiles. So on the season, he has 1,468 yards, 6 touchdowns, but 9 interceptions. Definitely turnover prone. From what I've seen, if a defender gets in his face or he's even remotely rushed, he will make those mistakes. Let's be honest. Michigan has one of the best defensive lines in the country. You have Josiah Stewart, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, all first rounders. If they rush him and make him do quick decisions, they could possibly win this game. But again, we'll get to that point. So let's talk about Michigan's pass defense, though. It's the 94th best pass defense in the country. All right? If Aiden Chiles has a game like he did against Iowa, he threw for 325 yards, 22 for 30, 3 to 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, but that's as good as a game. He's really progressed. So if he could really give their secondary a lot of trouble, that's going to depend on the game he plays, and that's going to depend on Nick Marsh as well, who, as a freshman, he has established himself as one of their best wide receivers. Let's talk about Michigan's QB room. Davis Warren, who was benched, has the most passing yards on the season with 444 yards. Tuttle has been struggling and is turnover prone. He's fumbled and threw an interception or two the last 2 games of the season in Washington and against Illinois. It's safe to say that Michigan doesn't have a QB. And, their overall offense, it's terrible. Khalil Mullings has been good rushing attack. He'll get you 4 or 5 yards a carry. But they have the 119th total offense in the country. They haven't gone over 250 yards, and they've scored 24 points in the last 2 games. That is not good at all. This is an offense, so if they're ever put in a 3rd and 6 or long situation, you can count on them punting. They don't have a QB. They're going to anticipate the run from Mullings or Edwards, who has not been good at all. I don't even know why they're relying on the guy anymore. Obviously their offense is not good. All right. So, Michigan State defense against Michigan's offense. Michigan State defense is 29th in the country. That really surprised me. They also have a better defense than Michigan, who is 34th in the country. Michigan State has given up 323.1 yards a game and has the 53rd best rushing defense in the country, but 30th in passing. But you know what? They're not worried about Michigan's passing offense. We all know why. Michigan could definitely capitalize off their rushing defense. Again, it's 53rd best rushing defense in the country, so they could definitely capitalize off of that. But so they've given up 323.1 yards a game. All right, Michigan, again, they haven't gone over 250 in the last 2 games. So Michigan State may not have a problem being able to stop that horrendous offense. All right. And if you want to really put things into perspective, Illinois and Washington's defense weren't as good, but UM's offense is just that bad. All right. So, What are my takeaways from this game? It's going to be the same thing as before. Against Washington, against Illinois, against games they just almost lost. It's going to be because of Michigan's offense. They're terrible. They can't produce long drives. Michigan's defense, you can't say they're all elite because of their passing defense, but their defensive line is elite. But due to Michigan's offense not being able to produce any type of substantial drive, they get tired eventually. And if their defensive line is tired, they won't be able to get in Chiles' face and make him make big mistakes. Again, Chiles has 9 interceptions on the season. He's obviously turnover prone, and that's when the score usually separates. That's when teams start, being able to get more points on offense. All right, so that's what's going to happen. Michigan's defense is going to get tired. Chiles is and those wide receivers are going to feast. I think it's not going to be a high-scoring game. It could be a snooze fest for a while. Field goal after field goal. But, again, eventually Michigan's defense is going to get tired. And I think that Michigan State is going to Sparty on against Michigan 23-10.